plan. He'll make a fair deal built from his own hand. A special place to relax, a special place you can chill. Yay, a tiki bar is the way. Tiki Kev has the plan. He'll make a fair deal built with his own hand. A special place to relax, a special place you can chill. He's got bars to build. He's got tiki bars to build. He's got bars to build.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Shop Talk with Tiki Kev and Matt. Got my background music going here, and maybe we should. We have a new sponsor this week, and Radio Trop Rock, which you'll hear them in the background playing for almost every show now. They are a new sponsor for Tiki Talk and Shop Talk with Tiki Kev and Matt. So welcome aboard Radio Trop Rock, Eric Babb, and thank you very much. And we have your banner in the background. We got your music in the background, and they play some awesome trop rock music. If anybody's interested in listening, you could go to radiotroprock.com, and you can like them on Facebook as well, which is Radio Trop Rock, all one word. Go ahead over to their page and like their page. So, Eric, once again, thank you guys very much for being a sponsor here at Tiki Kev's, and we look forward to a long relationship with you guys. Plus, your music's phenomenal. So what's going on, Matt? We just got done a weekend, huh? Hope everybody had a great 4th of July weekend. We have a few stories to tell you. We're going to try and get the beautiful Miss Patty Faye out here. We don't know if she's going to come out or not, but we're going to try and get her out here to tell her a version of her side of a story of why she was mad at me this weekend. But before we get into that, what do we have on tap here?
Yeah, I mean, I heard that you definitely had a interesting weekend. But
yeah. Well, why? You know what? Let's maybe once some more people tune in, we could talk about that. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds good.
We got to give Patty some time to get out here too.
Yeah.
One other thing for Radio Trop Rock, they do have an app for your phone. So just go to your phone and look up Radio Trop Rock, and you'll be able to find the app. You can download it for free. So that comes straight from Eric Babb in there. All right?
Yeah, I actually already downloaded the app. I took a look at it. The symbol is exactly like up there on that white poster back there. The app is extremely easy to use. You literally just install it, open it, and hit play, and it does the rest for you. Now, back into episode 2. This week you wanted to do things a little bit differently. So we'll be taking call-ins the whole episode. Call in, and Kev will answer your questions, comments, concerns, anything that you have that you want to talk to Kev about. We'll shoot the shit with you.
I will shoot the shit. How do you say that?
He will be shooting the shit with you, my friend.
There we go. That's how my answering service answers my calls. All right, well, let's go back to the 4th of July. We're not going to tell the story yet.
Okay.
But I hope all you guys had a great, happy, safe 4th of July. I know we did. We had fun. We were down at the beach for about 6 days, and I'll tell you what, it went so doggone fast. It was ridiculous. But we had a lot of fun. We have a new rum we're going to try today, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But a friend of mine works down there at Total Wine in Delaware, and she brought it up for us to try. And I'll tell you what, it's really good. It's a Barbados rum, and not too bad. It's they actually matured it a second time in sherry oak bottle or oak barrels. And I'll tell you what, it is super smooth. But we're going to try that with you guys in a little bit. We'll let you know what it is. And Matt and I are actually going to try it here. We do have work to do, so we'll probably just do one with you guys, and that'll be it. So let's see what's on the agenda. Our last episode, we had just gotten back from North Carolina, and what a fiasco that was. But right after we came back, and I think it was right after we did our show, we went to New Jersey for another install. And I don't know if the pictures are rotating in the back. I don't know if we have that project, but I did post a lot of videos. And there's something, first of all, it was for Eva and Steven Toes. in New Jersey, and we did a 6x8 tiki bar for them. It had an ice bin. It's wired for. We put a ceiling fan in it. There's an ice bin. It's hooked up for TV. We have rope lighting around the cabinets, all that good stuff. The roof was 8x10, so the install went very, very smooth, and compared to North Carolina. So Matt and I just took our time. It took us all day, but we took our time. Nothing went wrong. Everything went nice and smooth. So at the end of the night, Steve comes out, and he brings us this. Now, this isn't the rum I was talking about, but Bacardi 151. So Steve and Eva, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We haven't opened it yet, but we will. Now, I have to be honest with you guys. Now, I'm letting the cat out of the bag here. There's a few things. Every time I'm done installing a tiki bar, Matt and I get my customers together over a couple beers, whatever they bring out, rum, whatever it is, and I go over with them how to take care of the bar, things they need to look for, do's and don'ts of taking care of your tiki bar. Well, the first question I always get asked, does it leak? And as a joke, I say I guarantee it not to leak as long as it's not raining. Although my tiki bars do not leak whether it's raining or not. It is raining outside today. It's it's damp. It's cool out today for almost the middle of July. I'm surprised how cool it is out here. But it's raining. We're dry. Nothing going on here. So that's one of the jokes. Here's the other joke. Ooh. You hear what's on?
Lost
Island Tiki Bar by Daryl Clanton. Daryl, thank you for doing that song, by the way. And again, we're listening to Trop Rock Radio in the background, and they're playing one of my theme songs. So the other thing I tell people, and everybody falls for this, and Steve and Eva, I hope you guys are watching right now because I have to confess something. Stereo's going in and out a little bit. When I told you guys, your palms were only a week and a half old when I put them on. So what I tell my customers is for the first year after I put your palms on, be careful because they still absorb water and they still grow up to a year. Well, Steve and Eva, you bought into that hook, line, and sinker. They do not grow. You don't have to trim them every couple weeks as they grow. So it was so hard to hold that in last week when I was telling you guys that, but they don't grow. And everybody falls for it. Everybody believes it. But I usually tell them before we leave. But because of this show, I had to let that one go for a week. And Steve and Eve, I'm sorry, but they're not going to grow on you. You don't have to worry about trimming them.
They're going to post their pictures of the bowl cut that they gave them.
Yes, they're going to put a big giant bowl over the roof and give it a trim. And I wouldn't be surprised if they went as far in a couple of weeks to go, look how much they've grown.
Yeah.
I had to let you off the hook before you guys did that. So, okay, so that's off my chest. Once again, guys, thank you for the work. Matt and I truly appreciate it. We had a great time over there, and the project went nice and easy. So let's see. Nope. Now, this is a sales call, so I am not going to answer that.
Now, when we say call-ins, we mean personal call-ins, not sales calls?
No sales calls. I don't want sales calls. I recognize sales calls numbers, and that was one of them, so we're not going to answer that one. And then we're still trying to get Patty Faye to come out. I don't know if she will. And Patty, if you're watching, you need to come out because we're going to be talking about that very soon. And everybody wants your version. I'm going to give my version, but I think they might want yours. All right, so what are we looking at here? Well, we're all done with the install. The install went way too easy, as all installs should. This install is just the epitome of installs. We had a great time, and it was fun.
You want to talk about the easiest install for us?
For us?
The Thursday pickup?
Oh, the Thursday. Oh, that's right. Mike from New York. Now, if you guys remember that little tiki bar that was in the shop when I had the two big ones in there, a guy from New York, his name's Mike, he ordered that little tiki bar. And I don't know, do we have a picture of that, Matt?
I don't believe that we do.
See if we can pull up a picture of that. It was only a 4.5 by little over 2 foot wide tiki bar. It's actually a mini version of my Island Hopper tiki bar. And I actually just one day made that for a friend that owns a beer distributor, and he wanted a little tiny bar to do beer tastings on. So I made that for him, and all of a sudden now it's a thing. Now I'm making these miniature tiki bars. So anybody wants one, more than welcome. Give me a call. But anyway, we made a bigger roof for him. What size roof did we make? A 6x4 roof on that. The roof is pretty much way bigger than the bar itself. But he came and picked it up from New York. And if you guys remember my trailer coming back from North Carolina. Oh, boy. Oh, okay. I thought you were going to show our trailer again. So that turned out pretty good. He took it in two pieces, the bar and the roof. And he sent us pictures just the other day. Actually, it was over the holiday weekend, and he loves it. Turned out really well for him. And Mike, thank you very much if you're watching. Thank you if you're not watching. Thank you anyway. So anyway, Mike, or Matt, do we talk about the trailer?
I think we have to. It's only right to talk about that trailer.
Okay, and it's only fair. All right, you guys know all the trouble we went through. Matt showed you the wheel last episode, and the trailer breaking, the fork breaking off of it, and the whole 9 yards. It was a fiasco. So I always take care of my equipment. Sometimes things happen. You can't help it. It's just the nature of the business. So, there I am. So anyway, Mike pulls up. Now, this isn't Mike's trailer. It's a friend's trailer. So Mike pulls up, and what was the first thing we noticed about the trailer?
The first thing about it was probably the
driving down from New York to here, their fender falls off. The inner fender falls off, and apparently put a gash in the tire. We actually found a big chunk, I don't know, I say about 8 inches or so of the tread of the tire sitting on the trailer. Okay, so that's number one. How he got down here from New York with that, I have no idea. Right back there.
Having some issues with
So,
hold it up correctly.
okay, you want to turn it down a little bit?
Yeah, I did that about a bit.
It's distracting me. I'm trying to tell a story here, Matt, and it's distracting. Patty Faye, are you coming out? So anyway, this trailer, I thought my trailer was bad. This trailer was the epitome of bad trailers. Anything that could have went wrong with this trailer did. The tailgate fell down as they were driving because this particular trailer has 2 metal arms that come up that hold the tailgates up and 2 pins that hold it. They had no pins in it. So the vibration actually knocked the tailgate down. So before they left, we hooked them up with pins, and we took all kinds of care of this trailer for them, fixed it all up for them so they could get back safe with the bar. So apparently you guys have the bar all set up. So you guys got back okay, but we strapped the living crap down out of this bar to make sure it wasn't going to go anywhere. And even if the trailer came unhitched, that bar was staying on there. So great job, Mike. Glad to see it's up. All right, so no more trailer stories. I'm getting tired. That's 2 weeks in a row we had trailer issues. Not all with ours, but pain in the neck. But anyway, what do we got here?
I mean, we can always talk about Big Kahuna's
Oh,
bar.
Big Kahuna, Bob Ashby. We are heading your way next week. We have a 10x10 tiki hut we're doing for the Big Kahuna. And it's about time. I saw your pictures. You were blasting my phone all weekend, over the holiday weekend with your pictures. You got all the concrete cut out for us. Matt cannot wait to get over there and start digging these holes. What do you say about that?
Woo-hoo!
Yeah, we got 4 holes to dig for you, Bob. So we'll be there. I'm guessing we'll be there Tuesday. Probably not coming back from the beach. We're heading back to the beach Friday night. So won't be back till Monday. So we're going to do your tiki hut on Tuesday. We'll get some pictures and videos, and I think Bob said he was going to cook his Big Kahuna burgers for us. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some drinks there too. I don't think we have any pictures of Bob's stuff.
No.
Okay.
We do have somebody writing in, though.
No sound again?
No. Mike from the last install said that you had got him with the palms joke, and he is watching. He loves the bar.
Which Mike?
Stole.
Oh, from New York. So, Mike, you believe that one?
No, yeah, he said that you had gotten him with that Palms joke. So
All right. Well, Mike, I hope you're not upset about the trailer story, but after all the trouble I went through with my trailer, it was only fitting I had to get yours in there. So we're just having a little fun with it. Oh, what are some of the things we don't talk about on this show, Matt?
religion and politics.
Religion and politics. Although this tiki bar is not a very, it is very unpolitical. We are not politically correct.
Right.
Right? So you guys can write in, say anything you want, ask any questions you want. We'll read them up to a certain point. I guess we'll have to watch out for what we say. But no, we write in anything you want, guys. Call in, numbers right there. Email. If you email, we're not going to answer email questions today, but we will get them on the next show. But if you send a post in right there on your computer, or you give me a call, we will answer any questions during the show. So what else do we have coming? Oh my gosh. Okay, now I have to walk away. Okay, you guys need to see this. This is what drives me crazy.
Oh, yeah, the bar.
Yes, we found this in a magazine. My neighbor down the shore, we haven't been down there since Memorial Day because we've been so busy with all these installs and all these projects. And Mike, even your bar, you have no idea what it took to squeeze that in. I know you wanted it before the 4th of July. I told you probably weren't going to get it, but I made sure it happened, and you did get it. So we were super, super busy. So I guess I'm not walking away. I guess Matt's going to walk away. Yeah, I think it's on the dash on the passenger side, Matt. But while he's getting that, we just got another order for bar stools as well. And bar stools are, I don't know what this going on this year, but from April until Memorial Day, we kicked out over 100 bar stools. And typically that's a season for us, 100 bar stools. But we're just in the beginning of the season. And I want to thank everybody for all your bar stool orders. It's incredible. So if anybody needs our bar stools, you know where to get them. Give us a call. We can order them online for you, whatever you want to do. We are backed up on all the orders, though. We can't keep any in stock whatsoever. We've been making them. We're barely keeping up with the orders. We just got another order in last week for 6. We got to ship those up to Connecticut. Matt started those yesterday. So we're hoping to get those out by the end of next week. So bar stools are hot this year. Get them while you can.
You could even call in right now.
Call in right now. Put your order in. I'll give you 10% off if you order 4 or more bar stools from Tiki Kev, whether the swivel or the non-swivel, 10% off up until the end of the show. And it has to be a legitimate call, no fake calls. All right. All right, hold on. Don't show him the picture yet. Okay. So my neighbor down the shore has been holding this book since Memorial Day weekend, since we left. And we got down there last Thursday. Now, here at Tiki Kev's, I have an extensive construction background. I've been in construction since the mid to early 80s. And my first job, it was all custom work. So I got in on the ground level at this company. Our company did absolutely everything. We even dug the footers for the homes that we built, and we did every single aspect. So in the 80s, when I was still in my late teens, I learned how to do everything over a 5-year period. I could do concrete. I've done everything. I'm not a master of everything. I am what you would consider a master carpenter because that's my trade. But I have learned to do every single aspect of construction, and I can do it, and I'm very proud to do it. I do it here and there for friends and family now, but I've been doing the tiki bars for 17 years. I kind of let that go a little bit. This is more fun. You meet better quality people, more fun people doing what I do. And the issues you have building tiki bars around the country compared to just regular construction are pretty much non-existent. So that's why I do what I do. So everything we do here is custom built, custom made. Everything comes from my brain. There's no blueprints. Now, when I do a project, I do a small blueprint for the shop, so I have a schematic to work off of. But do I really need that? No, I've been doing it so long, everything's in my head. So nothing we do here is cheesy. Everything is top-notch. I guarantee you there's nobody in this country that builds a tiki bar the way I build them, and you're not going to get the quality that you get from me from anybody else. So I stand alone, and I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you guys that I pour my heart and soul into every bar I build. Now, when it comes to tiki huts, the thatched roofs themselves, yes, there's other guys that do it around the country. We pretty much all do it the same. There's no real big difference from me framing a roof compared to anybody else framing a roof. Thatching it's pretty much all the same. There's small details that say, hey, Tiki Kev built that one, or hey, PJ down in Florida, that's a shout out to you, PJ, built that one. There's a few guys that, you know, I deal with around the country. We all help each other out. Some guys are good, some aren't. And I'm not mentioning any names either way around, but it's a good field to be in. So given that my neighbor gives me this magazine and shows me this picture and the price of this cheesy import.
Let's see if anybody can guess. It's going to be kind of hard to see based on.
So do you have the price there? Don't show them the price.
Yeah, I've got that covered.
You got the price covered up? Okay, you guys can see that. It's a cheesy import. You can see the roof. It's not real thatch on the roof. Now, what I would like, and we'll just do this over the next minute or two because I want to finish this topic, but I would love for a couple of you guys to write in right now and tell me what you would pay for that cheesy import.
And here's another look at it.
And take a good look at it. Okay, now you can see it's not the real palm thatch on the roof, and it's definitely an import. So not only are you paying the price for that, you're paying shipping from wherever it's coming from, China or wherever this country brings it in from, or this magazine. So you're paying for shipping to you, you're paying tax, the whole 9 yards. So has anybody written in yet? Because I'm very curious to see.
John Palmer wrote hi from.
How you doing, John?
Said hi from just down the road, and David said watching in Japan. Awesome.
All
video.
right, David, thanks for tuning in again. Are you the same guy that tuned in from Japan last week? Thank you very much. All right. Okay, nobody's written in about a price. Okay. Here's what I think. Your mouths are going to drop. That cheesy import is $8,000. Okay, $8,000 for that. And my guess is, I didn't read the whole article. My guess is you have to put it together as well. So for $8,000, you have a cheesy roof, something you have to put together, and I guarantee you is very, very flimsy. Here at Tiki Kev's, if you want to spend $8,000, you're going to get a product that's going to last you forever. Not the roof. The roofs do wear out, as we all know. However, when I do a roof, they last, and it depends where you're at as well. And I will give you this, and this isn't the norm. The original tiki bar I built, it was a tiki hut, a 16 by 16 tiki hut on my ex-wife's house. And she lives right down the road from us. It is still there. The original roof, no leaks, still has the original palms on. 17 years old, no palms are missing. So that's kind of on the odd side. They typically don't last that long. The standard roof, and here's where I'll put it. If you're in a hot climate, such as Florida, you know, they generally last 5 to 7 years. When you're here up in the north, because of the weather changes, you're not having that constant Florida sun beating on them. They're going to last you anywhere from 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 years. Now, I've had many go through hurricanes that are still on there. Nothing's ever happened to them. And I've had many comments, customers write in, telling me, especially Hurricane Sandy, when it went through up here, many customers wrote and said they cannot believe that the thatched roofs held up, whereas they've had trees that were blown over by the hurricane and nothing happened to the roofs. So all I'm doing is, if you are in the market for a tiki bar, stay away from magazines like that. You call Tiki Kev, you're going to get one hell of a quality product. And you get me. And my sidekick, Matt. Sorry, Matt.
Our time is it's a good time when we're out, so it's worth it. We like to have fun.
We have fun. We have fun with the customers. We have fun from the time we get there, and it's basically it's a party while we're working. And I do charge more when you stand right behind me and watch everything I do. So make sure you're busy that day. I don't mind you coming out and asking me questions, but if you're over my shoulder the whole time, you're getting charged more. And to be honest with you, that doesn't happen. I know everybody's curious. They come out. Now, Steve, you did that. You were in and out of your house. I know you and your wife were working. You left us alone, let us get our stuff done. But at the end of the day, we had a great time. You brought out rum. You brought out food and beer. And since Matt and I had an hour and a half drive, there was no way we're opening that bottle of 151. That would have been a little dangerous. You would have had a couple guests for the night. So that wasn't going to happen. So if anybody has any questions on what I can do, and I build and deliver all over the country. So I've done how many jobs in Illinois? I've done 5 projects in Illinois. I've done them all up and down the East Coast. We've gone out to Arkansas. I've been asked to come around the world, to be honest with you. Italy, I was asked to come out to Italy. Patty and I went to the Bahamas 2 years ago. We really didn't have to pay for anything. Somebody wanted me to do, it was like $1.5 million project. They flew us out there for 6 days. Australia's another one. Hawaii, and there's one other country. I can't remember what it is, but I've been asked to come all over the world to do this. Now, once people figure out how much it actually costs to get me out there, and then I can't just whittle it with a knife. So I need pools, I need a place to stay, the whole 9 yards. It's not really cost effective. So I didn't turn them down, but I let people know what's going on and how much things actually cost. I'm not going to say, yeah, I can come out there, and then before you know it, you're spending $50,000 on a project you thought you were going to spend, say, 10 or 12 on. So we're very honest here as well. What you see is what you get. And I really haven't had a dishonest or a dissatisfied customer in 17 years. Now, there is 2 stories I could tell you guys, but we'll save that for another episode. They're comical now, but they weren't then. But we'll get to those some other time. So we're still working on trying to get Miss Patty Fay out here, and I know she's watching in there, but I don't know if we could get her out.
Dave Wood wrote in saying that tiki bar looks like it should be about $400.
Yes.
I'd agree with that.
And Dave, if I gave you a huge piece of lumber, I'm sure you could chainsaw that thing out in about an hour. Yes, $400. You know what? I would say 2007, I think it was. 2007 or 2008. Before I made my Island Hopper 1 tiki bar, I bought a cheesy 6-foot bamboo piece of crap imported tiki bar. And I bought it. I buy everything wholesale. My price was still, I think it was like $1,700. So I bought it just to see what these things were. I brought it into my shop. I had my guys put it together. It took 2 of my guys a full day to put this cheesy piece of crap together. Let me tell you something. Retail on that, I think, was like $2,200 or $2,400. And when we put this together, we actually had to use some of our fasteners. Their fasteners were horrible. Didn't come with written instructions. It was just a picture. And let me tell you something. That's how I came up with the Island Hopper, to compete against these cheesy imports that you're paying way more money for. Now that thing was, I believe it was $24.95. Didn't include shipping, plus you had to put it together. My Island Hopper, which is a sturdy bar, you'll never get any wiggle out of that. It's a lightweight bar, and it's not meant to be outside all year. You can keep it outside all year, but I wouldn't recommend it, especially over the winter when you get storms and high winds. It could easily blow over. It's only about 400 pounds, but it's meant to be lightweight and portable. And that's only $19.95. And I made it to compete with these cheesy, and it just pisses me off, the quality that some people pass out to you guys to say how great a quality is, and it's all, no, they're not. You know what's awesome? Something built here in the United States that's going to last a lifetime. And that's what we truly believe here at Tiki Kev.
So speaking of your tiki bars, Dave Wood actually had a question, and he said, what would someone in California be looking at to have a tiki bar built? He said, ballpark being, I know there are options, and there are a lot of options that takes it all over the board.
Yeah, I've actually shipped a few bars out to California. 3 of them all being the Island Hopper. One of them was for The Price is Right. I did 8-foot island hopper with a 10-foot roof. I think I did 4 bar stools or 6 bar stools for that. And I shipped 2 to 2 different customers, also being the 8-foot island hopper 2, not the small one. That's a tough question, Dave. It depends. It depends what they want. It depends on the size of the bar. You got to remember, it's going to take us, 3 days to get out there? If we drive, I don't know, if we drive consistently, you and me going back and forth.
If you drive or I drive, because that's two totally separate times.
Okay, that was another topic we're going to touch on, Matt's lead foot. No, if we split driving time and just go straight out, hang on, guys. This is all right. I don't know if this is a sales call or not. I'm gonna answer this. Let's see who we got here. Good morning, Tiki Kev. Hello.
Normally, when you gotta say hello when you first answer the phone call, it's a good sign.
It's a sales call.
No, it's definitely a trustworthy person. Normally means you've won something, and you should give them your information so that you can get everything.
As I told you, we're not politically correct here. And typically and I'll get back to my story. I'll get back to you in a second, Dave. Typically when I can tell when it's a sales call or somebody wanting something. So, and not a tiki bar either. So I usually give Matt the phone. And as I said, we're not politically correct here. And if this pisses you off, I'm sorry, but it's funny. And I don't apologize, because this is how we have fun here. So I have somebody that answers the phone for me. His name is Rajesh. So, Matt, can you get Rajesh real quick and show him how we answer the phones here at Tiki Kev's when we get a sales call, somebody trying to sell me something totally irrelevant from what we do. Rajesh, can you come in?
Hello, my friend. I am visiting from behind the computer, my friend.
You don't want to come out, Raj?
Look, I do not want the people to be seeing my face.
Are you ugly?
Rajesh is very ugly. That is why I work on the phone line.
Well, how do you answer the phone when somebody calls that really we don't want to talk to?
Well, I grab the extension line and I make sure that they are dealt with properly by answering the phone. But hello, you are calling to the Tiki Kev Tiki Bars, and I am willing to be transferring you to Tiki Kev.
Now, I actually 2 weeks ago, and I don't know if you're watching, Jeff from Florida, but Jeff called, and just as a joke, I had Rajesh answer the phone instead of me. And how'd that phone call go?
Well, I think that Jeff was going to be trying to be shooting the shit with you, and he was just trying to have the conversation.
And he had no idea I had an answering service.
He had no idea who I was. No, he was very confused.
Very confused. And all he wanted to do was talk the shit.
Yes, he was looking to be shooting the shit.
Shooting the shit. That's
Shooting the shit.
okay. Well, that was Raj, everybody. That's my new answering service.
Thank you, my friend.
All right, can you go grab Matt? Tell him to come back.
Yes, my friend.
All right, thanks, Raj. Matt, how you doing? You're back. He's a trip, isn't he? All right. So anyway, I should have had you answer the phone and then take it over to Raj.
Yeah.
All right. So Dave, any hate mail yet?
No, people. Patty had messaged in. She said that she'll be able to message her version. She won't be able.
Patty, no. Everybody wants to see you out here. Now that I know you're watching.
Well, no, I had sent her a message directly.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, she said that she was working.
Okay. Well, Carol from down at the beach, one of our neighbors, wants to see you, Patty. She wrote in. All right. So Dave, let me get serious here and answer your question. It depends. All right. Let me see if I can explain this without confusing anybody. All right, as you know, it depends on the size of the bar. It depends on what's in the bar, options. I mean, you could take a, say, $8,000 bar and turn it into, say, a $16,000 bar. So the bigger the bar, the more I have to do once we get out there, because if the bar is too big, the way I do it in the shop is I build the entire bar, but as I'm building it, I'm designing it so I can take it apart. We can load it, get everything strapped down, bundled up, whatever, and be able to transport it. So one of the aspects is distance. How far do I have to go? What's the expense of getting to where you are? The second aspect is how long are we going to be on site? So if I have, let's say, a 10 by 10 bar, we can't transport that because it's too big for the road. So I have to build that where the bar tops is in a couple pieces. You have certain panels to the bar. The cabinets are out. It's a big process. So it could be 1 or 2 day of us getting everything back together until the project's finished. The next aspect is how many guys do I need to bring? So how many hotel rooms am I getting? How many days, like I said, are my guys going to be on site with me? And I do go to every single job. Unless it's a rethatch, my guys can handle that. I don't need to be on a rethatch. But I personally build and deliver every single tiki bar. Nobody builds the tiki bars but me. Now, Matt, and as you guys saw earlier this season, I brought Scott in from Florida. We were so overwhelmed with work, I just couldn't do it all. And Matt and I couldn't do it all, so we brought in Scott. He did all my rethatches while I was building the bars, and a couple other jobs when we went down in the Carolinas. We had a crew of 4. So it all depends. So I need a starting point before I could give you any type of price at all, like the size of a bar. So, for example, my and I'm going with the most expensive one that I advertise on my website. My 10 by 10 custom Tiki Kev Tiki bar comes with a 12 by 12 roof. It comes with 9 Tiki Kev bar stools. It comes with stereo and TV hookup. All you have to do is add the TV and add your stereo system. Everything's wired for that. It comes with a sink. It comes with an ice bin. It comes with a refrigerator, and it comes with a beer meister. Now, if you want to upgrade to a dual tap beer meister, you could do that. And you can upgrade everything listed in there. It comes with rope lighting. It comes with a ceiling fan. So it comes with the netting on the roof, the footrest, the whole 9 yards. That's $19,995. But you're getting everything. And here's the thing about that. I have not changed my prices in 17 years. My costs have gone up dramatically in 17 years. I have yet to change any pricing of my tiki bars since the day I started and had my website up. So let's say somebody ordered that one, Dave. So you're looking at 20 grand there. You're looking at 3 to 4 guys coming out to do the install. So you have about 6 days total driving there and back. You have 2 hotel rooms for, I'm going to say, at least minimum 3 nights. The night we get there, 2 days of install, so possibly four nights of hotel room. Uh-oh. Okay, we're gonna take this. This is Tina Massey. She is a past customer. Hello, Tina. I am. Hold on, I'm gonna put you on live, okay? Yeah, we're in the middle of our show right now. I thought you were watching, and that's why you were calling. Go live on Facebook on my fan page, and we're live right now doing our shop talk with Tiki. I tagged you in the post this morning, actually. Okay. Well, I tagged you for the specific reason of you getting a hold of me this weekend, so I will definitely take care of that. Nope. I have a very, very simple solution, and I think you're going to love it. Well, go on live on your computer. Yeah. Or your phone, but you're on the phone.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, yes, but go on my fan page and not my personal page. So let's do this. Go ahead and go live and or watch our live show, and then I will call you back as soon as we're done. Okay, see you. All right, that was Tina from New Jersey, and she was calling. And this is how I deal with customer service. As you guys have seen, in the past few years, I've done bar stools with backs on them. Now, here's the issue. I use sassafras for our bar stool tops. and we get those in completely raw. I have a supplier, or it's a friend of mine that works at a sawmill, and whenever he gets sassafras in, he gives me a call. Now, technically, the sassafras tree is a weed, but it does grow. You can get trunks up to 14, 15, 16 inches around. However, that's rare. Your typical sassafras tree is somewhere between 10, 12, 13 is pushing it. Well, the minimum stool tops that we use are 13, and the bigger you get, the better. Now, as you guys have seen in the past, I've put backs on some of these stools. However, the backs do not work very well with the smaller stool tops. And this is all product development. You have to trial and error. So a few years ago when I did Tina's bar, we gave her, she ordered half bar stools with backs, half without. Unfortunately, we didn't have any big seats. So we made the backs with the biggest ones we have. Well, they're comfortable and uncomfortable at the same time. So it's been about 2 years. I think, yeah, it's been about 2 years. Tina's had her bar. And what we're going to do is I stopped making these because of the fact that when you order them, if I don't have the right size stool top, it's not going to work. So I discontinued them overall. Now, if I can start getting bigger seat tops in, I will start doing them again. But at this point, the biggest we're getting in is about 14 and a half. And by the time the way we design them, by the time you get those logs on there, it's still going to be a little bit uncomfortable. So, Tina, I know you just tuned in. So what I'm going to do is I will take those back, and I think we talked about this before. I will take those back, and I will give you new swivel bar stools to replace. I think you got 4 of each. So I will give you 4 brand new swivel ones. I'll replace those. I'll take the backs off of them. I'll refurbish them up, fix them up a little bit, and I'll sell them as refurbished ones. And then what I can do is if I get, I know you really like those, if I get any really big sassafras stool tops in, I will make you some new bar stools with backs on them, and I will bring them over to you. But to replace the ones with the backs, I'll give you some really nice new swivel ones. So that's how we're going to remedy that. And if you want me to do something else, Tina, that's no problem. Do whatever you want. You're an awesome customer. We had a great time when we did your install 2 years ago. And I think we've actually become friends. We talk now and then, and it's whatever you guys need. I am here to help. If you're not happy with something, I am absolutely here to help, and I will fix it. Now, this honestly is, and I'm glad this happened live on the air too, because this typically doesn't happen, but if something like this happens, I will fix it in a heartbeat. So, Tina, I will call you when we're done the show, and I will get you some new bar stools. And again, I'll be able to use the ones that we take back. That's not an issue at all. So, like I said, I'll give you a call as soon as we're done here, and we'll. I think Matt's on bar stools this week and next week after we get done the Big Kahuna's Tiki Hut, and he's local, so I think he's over in Newtown, so about 15, 20 minutes from here, close to where your girlfriend lives. Yeah. So that should be a one-day install. Bob's going to get us drunk, I guarantee. At the end, Patty might need to come pick us up, or Linda Ashby, you might have to bring us home. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. So.
I don't mean to cut you off, but before we get into the next topic, I had missed a question from David over in Japan. He asked, in the Lost Island Tiki Bar with all the electronics in there, is there a fear of getting all that gear damaged by the rain?
No water comes in whatsoever. And if you notice, you can't really see behind me. I have that big margarita machine there, but right behind that, there's a cabinet, and the cabinet has all my electronics in it, except for the TV. You can see that's behind me hanging up. So no, it doesn't. Another question I get all the time is, Kev, do you put outdoor TVs? And I say absolutely not. Unless you want to buy one, I will put it in. No big deal, or I'll get it for you if it's part of the contract. But no, I have no fear. This stuff's been out here for 2 years. I leave my TV out here all year round. The palms come down far enough, even if water blew in from the rain, it's not going to get wet. on the back of the cabinet with all the electronics, which is the stereo system. There's a surround sound in there. Nothing gets wet. There's a back on it, and it's completely covered. The only time I ever covered this was this past winter. We were supposed to have a snowstorm up to 2.5 feet of snow. So what I did is I tarped the whole entire tiki hut in, and nothing happened. We got 6 inches of snow, and it was you know what? If I made mistakes like that, I wouldn't have a job. But so we went from 30 inches of snow, and we only got 6. So no, if I know there's a bad snowstorm, I know which way the wind blows. So I'll put tarps up just to help from snow coming in. But as far as water, nothing. I have ceiling fans in them. No water drips through. So 99 out of 100 times, they never leak. Every once in a while, and I will tell you this, they do leak every once in a while, but it'll leak one time and it'll never leak again. I'll give you a good example. The first 8 months I had this up, never leaked. And then one day I come back here and there's this teeny little drip, and it was a very slow drip coming from the top. So I go outside and I look and I see these palms sticking up. And I think what happened is either a squirrel or a bird got in there and they were pulling the palms up. So what wound up happening is the wind was blowing a weird way when it was raining, and I got that drip. It lasted maybe 4 months, and it's gone. My roof hasn't leaked since. So it depends how the wind's blowing. Every once in a while you get some water in. Most of the time, 99% of the time, no. And they always go away. The original one I did for my ex-wife, which we just touched on a few minutes ago, that's 17 years old. I think it leaked one time about a month and a half after I built it. It had never leaked again. And it was just a really bad storm where the wind was so bad, it blew up palms in a weird way, got some water under there, some water came in. But other than that, no. Not when I build them. Maybe somebody else. I hope that answers your question.
Well, that bar from earlier in the magazine, that would definitely not hold up. You would not be able to.
No, that bar, if you look at that thatching, now I once in a while will use that thatching. It's a rolled panel that you can go online and buy for a couple $100. Comes in like 2 feet wide, and it unrolls to 50, 57 feet. It depends on who you buy it from. But basically what they do is they take your actual palm, they shred it, and then they weave it together. So it's all full of holes. So there's no waterproofing whatsoever. And if you use it in an outdoor application, you're lucky to get a year and a half out of it before you have to replace it. So you're either replacing that every year and a half, or you buy these palms from me if you want to do it yourself, or you have me come thatch your roof, and this will last you much, much, much longer. It's well worth putting the money into. All right, so we're Dave Wood out in California. I think I answered your question. I'm not sure if we finished. If we didn't finish, Dave, send us another message, and I'll finish up.
All right. Well, speaking of all the work that you're doing and everything, and I believe
we still got a lot to talk about. How long we've been on?
A couple things.
Hey, we got to get back to work, folks. Come on. Just kidding. I want your phone calls. I want your messages, questions, comments. I don't care. Negative, positive, doesn't matter. It's all. I take it all with a grain of salt. Constructive criticism is always welcome.
So, yeah, speaking about all the work that you were doing, I believe you have 2 other projects even closer to home than Big Kahuna.
Actually, no. The one, my son's project. Wow. Okay, you guys remember all the things I was posting about the movie Patty and I are in, and my children as well. Well, the bar I built for the party scene, I obviously got back, and I gave it to my son and his wife. So what my son had bought a new house a couple years ago, and for his wedding present, I told him that I was going to build him a big, monstrous tiki bar and tiki hut. His wife at the time said no, and I'm questioning, how can you say, I hope you're watching, Sarah. She didn't want anything that big, and to be honest with you, I don't blame them with the size yard. They have a decent yard, but something that big would be overwhelming. So when I did the tiki bar for the movie, it was the perfect size for them. So I am giving that to them, and my son ripped his deck down about 2 weeks ago, and I am building him a new deck. And it's going to be at least twice the size of the deck that's there now. So Matt and I are actually heading over there tomorrow to lay out the holes for the deck. I'm going to have my son and some of his old college buddies are going to come over, get all the holes dug. And then at some point I'm going to go over there, get all the concrete done, and I can get the bar built, or the deck built. And then we're going to take the bar over there. I built a new roof for the bar, a much bigger roof for him, and then we're going to thatch that. So the bar from the movie will be at my son's house, hopefully in a couple weeks, as soon as we can get that in. But he's going to help out with some of the laborious work, like getting the holes done. And then when I get out there, they can wheelbarrow the concrete to the holes, and I'll get all that set up for them. And then they'll be able to, hopefully by the end of the summer. Jason, if you're watching, I love you, kid. We'll get there as soon as we can to do that. All right, now, this other project, it's not for Donnie Brewer, but he gave me the inspiration to do this. So Donnie will be the first one in it. And if anybody wants to see a video of what's going on here, I'll take a video, and I could post that later. But the Lost Island Tiki Bar here, it's 500 square feet. That's how big our tiki hut is here. So what I'm going to do, and my deck is just under 1,000 square foot, 2-level deck. So what I'm going to do is on the lower section of the deck going out into the yard towards the creek, I am putting a 5-foot walkway from this deck to a new deck with a 12 by 12 tiki hut going over the top of it, and that is going to be for all music. For anybody any party we have, anybody who wants to come play music, that's what that's going to be for. When Donnie Brewer gets here in September for our annual tiki party, which is September 9th, official invitations have not been sent out yet, but they will within the next week or two. Donnie is coming up, and he will be playing here. I'm not sure how long he's going to play, a couple hours at least. This is not a house concert. It is my annual tiki party, and Donnie, he does know that. So Parrot Head clubs that are local, anybody, send me a message if you want to be invited. I had 10 annual tiki parties when I was married to my ex-wife, and over the last, we got separated. We were separated in 2010. That was the last one. So I haven't had one since. So we're starting them up again. It's being catered. It's 100% catered. We're going to have 1 or 2 licensed bartenders here because I just want this thing to be totally organized. It's not going to be a free-for-all. There will be a charge to get in. That's going to cover Donnie. That's going to cover the food. It's going to cover all the liquor. I'm sure you guys seen videos with Garvin, one of my best friends. I met Garvin 12 years ago. No, it was longer than that. Holy cow. Had to be 15 years ago. Garvin will be here. I think him and I'm going to get a backhoe and dig a hole in the ground. We're going to do a pig in the ground. First time we've ever tried that. Now, he's done it. He's from Tobago. He's done it many times over there. So we're going to bring his knowledge over, and we're going to do that. So anybody interested, like I said, I will be making an announcement. I don't want it too big. I want to maybe try and keep it to 150, 200 people max. But you know, I guess this is an official invitation. If you're interested, I will send you the info. You will get tickets to get in. You will get a wristband. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We will have another guest, I believe, next week. My buddy John, who is a member of Barefoot Bobby and the Breakers. And from what John's telling me, they might just pop up here and play when Donnie's done just for fun. I don't know. It's not set in stone yet, but that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm so looking forward to this. So message me if you're interested. Jeannie Doc, I know you're interested, and you said there might be a conflict with another house concert. So we'll be in touch, and we'll figure things out. So we have that. I haven't even started this deck and tiki hut yet. So I got a long ways to go. We got a lot of work to do too. So I don't know why we're talking so long. We got work to do, Matt.
That's right.
But no, we got a few more things, and then we're going to have to cut loose. What was the next thing on our agenda? I believe it was.
Before we get into that, we got another question wrote in from.
I think my coffee's getting cold, but we're going to end this real soon.
From Pirate Mike, and he says, if I put palm fronds over my smoke shack, which is about 8 feet over the heat. Is there a chance of them catching fire?
Okay. The smoke coming out is not that hot. The smoke coming out will not burn your thatch down. Open flame, I would definitely say your options are no, or fireproofing. You can fireproof the inside. And if you want to get in touch with me, I can tell you where to get it. I sell it here. The fireproofing is made specifically for thatched roofs. So you will be protected if you apply it properly for 2 years, and then you have to reapply it. But if it's just smoke, no, I honestly don't think you have anything to worry about. I have had a fire pit down at my shore house, which was only 10 feet from the Lost Island Tiki Bar 2. Never had an issue with it. There was a garden hose handy just in case. I've never fireproofed any of mine. And my grill, my gas grill sits, I don't know, 4 feet from the tiki hut here. Never had a problem. You just got to watch out for open flames. And if you, Mike, you know what, you and I have spoken before. We've talked to each other many times on Facebook. I forget where you're from, Florida, Georgia. I think you're down south somewhere. Picture that sun, how hot that sun gets, and it sits on top of that roof all day long. They don't instantly combust. I've never seen one. I have had a customer I built a tiki bar for that opted out of the fireproofing. Was doing fireworks one day, and we shot a firework up, and the wind blew it back and caught his roof on fire because it's stuck in the roof. Thankfully, he had fire extinguishers. Nothing was burned. Nothing burned down. But unless you have an open flame, you really shouldn't have anything to worry about. Hope that answers your question.
All right. Well, speaking of rum.
Speaking of rum, no. Before Mike Cross, my buddy Mike. You and I have spoken many, many times over the years. We've sent each other. You've sent me a coffee mug. So I'm sporting the Fueled by Rum Mike Cross coffee mug today. Mike and I have become really good friends. If you've seen that table, that pirate table I did for him, that thing probably weighed 300 pounds. And I shipped it out to him. How you mounted that on the wall, Mike, not really sure. That is one heavy table I made for you, 3x5, with your flag in it, by the way. If you're listening, post a picture so people can see that. I do custom bar tables all the time. So anyway, sorry about going on that tangent on you, Matt.
So it looks like we're not going to be able to get the guest today.
No, Patty Faye. Patty Faye! She's in the house. Patty is working out of the house today. And do we tell that? I guess we should get to that story.
Yeah, gonna have to.
Should we? One more call. Patty Faye! Patty's not responding, so I'm gonna have to give you guys my version of the story. And my version is the story I heard from the neighbors and Patty. I do not remember this happening, so I don't really think it happened.
That's how all great stories start off with is, I don't remember.
I don't, and this is actually true. I don't remember. Well, let me start off with this. Matt and I have been working since, steady, like 7 days a week since March. And coming out of the Memorial Day weekend, we got right back into it. And you guys that follow us, you see how much we work and have fun afterwards. How we get the amount of work done is, I don't know. I sometimes, believe it or not, Matt, he'll verify this. I work all night sometimes. I'll work 7-8 hours in the shop. I'll go take my lunch break, as you guys know, for a couple hours. Then I'll come back and work till 2-3 in the morning. That's how all the work gets done. So we really haven't had time to settle. So Patty and I went to the beach Thursday afternoon, settled in Thursday night. And since I was in work mood, Patty made me build a gate on our deck down there Thursday night. Friday, we just piddled around. We went furniture shopping. We got all new furniture for the beach house. And all the furniture, by the way, if anybody's local to Memorial, New Jersey, we're giving away the furniture in our house. We're not selling it. It's all in perfect condition. Patty just wants to modernize a little bit more. She says it's 90s. I love it. But we're getting rid of it. Anybody needs some furniture, I'll post pictures and a video if you want. It's yours. It's free. It's all great condition. Seasonal. It's all seasonal use, not used year-round. So anyway, Patty decided that she wanted to go to the beach Saturday, and I wanted to hang around my tiki bar. So against my better judgment, I went to the beach. So I know a lot of you are saying, no, that you made a good decision, Patty. Wanted you to go to the beach, go to the beach. So I don't wear suntan lotion, never did. I've been in construction since the 80s, never used it, never will. I believe personally that the sun is better for you than all the chemicals you put on your body with that crap. So I sat in the sun for about 2 hours, and I put my shirt on, sat there another hour and a half, and then we left. I got burnt so bad. Now, that was a week ago. I am still feeling it. I'm still peeling. It hurts to the touch. My nose is peeling. My forehead's peeling. It's miserable. So I should have put my shirt on. So anyway, we go to leave. Now, in Ocean City, New Jersey, it's a dry town. You can't buy alcohol in the town, so nothing's allowed on the beach. So Patty and I, we always pack beverages. So I packed tequila, and I mixed it with a little bit of juice, a full bottle of tequila, and some Passoa. It's a liqueur. It's a passion fruit liqueur. I mixed that all together, sitting on the beach, 3 hours drinking that. We start walking off the beach. All of a sudden, I'm like, holy, I gotta pee. And you know, when you have an alcoholic pee, you cannot hold it on. So there's, I don't know, thousands of people on the beach. I walk about 20 yards, and I look around. Everybody's behind me. I'm like, I gotta go.
Wait, now when you say you walked, did you walk like off the beach?
No, we're on the beach. We are still literally on the beach.
Okay.
I took my chair, I put it beside me, turned a little bit, and went. That's how bad I had to go. I don't know how many people saw me. I don't really care, but I had to go. Where was Patty? 50 yards in front of me. She wanted nothing to do with it. Now, that's not why she's mad.
But this does raise one question. Why didn't you follow what the little kids do and go into the water?
Because it's a good question. The water was cold. The water is actually only in the low 60s. It was cold.
Okay.
And I didn't go in the water the whole time we were there.
You would have warmed it up a little bit.
I would have, yeah, but everybody also would have known what I was doing. But given the fact of what I did, they did anyway. So I guess you had to be there. That leads up to our 4th of July. We have an annual 4th of July party down there. The neighbors come over, family comes down, friends come down, and we keep it small. Our place isn't humongously huge. It's not big. I think we had 33 people there. I have a tiki bar down there. The tiki bar down there is it's about 1/4 of the size here. The bar is almost the same size, but the hut's small. The hut's 11 by 11, palms hanging over 12 by 12. So we had our annual tiki party, and Patty and a couple of my daughters and Patty's daughter all went to the beach. I stayed there. I cleaned up. So roughly around, I guess, 11, I'm like, you know what? Today's the party. I opened up a bottle of private stock, and I drink private stock on the rocks. So I started off with that and pretty much stayed with that all day and all night. I barbecued for everybody. Everybody had a great time. Coming around 11 o'clock, we had a fire going through the chimenea. We have a nice chimenea down there. And I'm feeling really, really good. One of the other neighbors, she was sitting next to me, and another neighbor had brought over a 6-pack of Corona or Land Shark, one of those, and gave it to me and is sitting next to my chair. At this point, I'm out of private stock. So my neighbor's like, here, Kev, have another. And I drank, here, Kev, have another. And there's probably about 8 or 10 of us still there, sitting there. And I don't know what happened. I'm going to pick the story up from Patty. Patty was walking one of the dogs, and you guys all know Diesel and Mia. She was walking one of the dogs, and all of a sudden, she says she yelled at me, and I quick ran back to my seat. So apparently, one of the neighbors said something about white guys dancing. So I got up, hearsay, I got up and started dancing around the chimenea. Apparently, my pants came down. Apparently, it was intentional. Patty caught it as she was coming back, yelled at me, and I jumped back to my seat. And I didn't find this out until Tuesday, that it was video recorded by one of the neighbors. And Patty and I and my daughter Peanut, who every now and then you get to see, we're sitting at dinner down the shore. And Patty said, you should, if tiki bars, when you're ready to retire, you should become a dancer. I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, you don't remember last night? And I said, no. So she proceeded to tell me the story, how I was dancing, and I guess there should have been a pole there if I'm pulling my pants down. I don't know. So she turns out, was quite upset, went in the house, slammed the door. I had no idea that night. And she came out later that night and was sitting around the fire talking to everybody. I had no clue. Patty didn't say much to me on Tuesday. And I didn't know why until dinner. So we get back from dinner and all the neighbors are sitting at one of the other neighbors' house, and I go over and hey, I guess I'm a dancer. And they started laughing. They said, you want to see the video? And I said, no, I'm surprised it's not on Facebook. Thank God it's not. Yeah, I pulled my pants down. So I don't know. That's my version. That's what I was told. I'm short. Oh, that's one of the dogs coming out. I thought it was Patty to come out and clear it up, but no. Anyway, that's my story.
Those poor people who had to witness that.
Well, it was, from what I hear, it was mostly all the women neighbors too. I think there was one or two guys there. Thank God Peanut wasn't out there. Or I heard she ran into the house or something when I embarrass her a lot. So I guess when I started dancing, she ran into the house. Good thing she did. So, all right. Well, that one's out. That's out of the way now. Patty's feeling better. She's not mad. I apologized for not knowing what I did. So, all right. That one's in the books.
So,
never a dull moment.
little advice: if Kev starts dancing, just run.
Yeah, please do. Or just tie me to my chair. Because sometimes, you know what? When I'm at the beach house, I just let loose. And, I shouldn't have done that, Patty. I'm sorry, babe. You got to keep a better eye on me, Faye. That's your fault. Oh, I can blame her. She was supposed to be watching me, and she wasn't. Patty, what's going on?
How could you let him do that?
Yes. Okay, let's move on.
Kev, do you know what ET is short for?
Extraterrestrial?
He's only got short legs. He's only got little legs.
What?
What is ET short for? He's only got little legs. It's a short joke.
Oh, get it. I get it.
It went over your head.
It did, because it was short. I get it. Oh, okay. All right. Matt and I decided during the show, because I told that cheesy joke last week, that we're each going to do a cheesy joke, and it's nothing long, just stupid, funny. But here's the one I picked out yesterday, and I think I heard this at the beach this weekend. But what do you call a turtle with a heart on?
I don't know.
A short poke.
A short poke. You mean
How about a slow poke?
a slow poke?
A slow poke.
That's a little better.
I was going back on your short joke. All right. What's the one my daughter told us yesterday about the lightning? We should have wrote that one down.
Yeah, somebody, what was, God, somebody told her a joke about lightning, but she didn't get it.
All right, here's one more really cheesy one. My daughter told me. We'll get that one for next week. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
I went to the store to buy a camo shirt. I couldn't see it. Okay, so that's it for that. Let's move on. All right. So maybe we should end with this. What else do we have to talk about?
I think that's about it. I mean, if anybody wants to call in, now's your chance. Things are wrapping up, so get your calls in before it ends. Already went over Radio Trop Rock. We had their music playing in the background for a little while. They have a free app on your phone. You just install it. It's super easy to use. As soon as it's on there, you just hit play. It takes care of the rest for you. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that. We talked about your eventful weekend.
Yes.
And all the poor people who became blind.
Oh man. You know what? Just to go back on that. When I go down the shore, and I don't know how Patty tolerates me sometimes, but I just let loose. There's two Tiki Kev modes. There's the work mode where I'm very serious, and everything needs to be done perfect. If it's not done perfect, it's going to get done perfect. And if you work for me and I got to tell you to make it better and better and better all the time, same things, well, you're going home. I'm bringing somebody else in. So then there's the other side of me, which is total opposite. So there's the Tiki Kev work mode. There's the Tiki Kev personal mode. There's two of me. And when I'm not working, I just let loose. I'm a totally different person. And every year down the shore, I have to walk around the neighborhood and I have to hand out apologies because I just have a lot of fun. I don't get mean. I don't get nasty. I don't get angry. I just have a lot of fun. Do I go overboard? What comes out of my mouth? Yes, sometimes. I have no control of that. I don't know why. It's just who I am. It's my personality. It's never anything mean. It's just all in fun. But so what we started doing a couple of years ago down the shore is every year when we open up down the shore, we get ready for the season, I walk around to my neighbors with preempted apology letters, and I just hand them out, and they're good for the whole season. This year I haven't had a chance, so I had to walk around the other day doing those apologies. So it happens once a year. You get one apology a year out of me for my behavior at my beach house when everybody's there. So yeah, that's that. So I'll tell you what, one of the neighbors down the shore, some good friends of ours, Mike and Tina, they have a daughter, her name's Dorothy, who comes down now and then. She works at Total Wines in Delaware, and she's a good friend of ours as well. And she's a manager over there. So we could pretty much get anything we want. If they don't have it, she can get it for us. She knows all about all kinds of liquors, beers. She's extremely knowledgeable. So over the weekend, she stopped over at the Tiki Bar, and she brought us a new rum that I've never had before. I don't know if you guys can see that. Okay. It's called Dorley's XO. It's a Barbados rum. It's 40%. Now, I tried it. We tried it at the beach, which is why there's a little bit missing out of here. As I said, I was drinking private stock the whole day, so I kind of just tasted this a shot or two that night. It was very, very smooth. And this, after it was all done, ready to go, they put it into some oak barrels. What's that say there, Matt? In oak barrels.
Spanish.
Yeah, what's that? I can't read that.
Spanish Oloroso sherry.
Oh, okay. So they put it in sherry bottles or sherry barrels, and they let it ferment, I guess, for a little longer. And that's what gave it this really smooth, I'm guessing, the color and the very, very smooth taste that it had. So I don't know if you guys can find this where you're at, but Matt and I know we're only going to do one because we have to get back to work. But I'm going to try this with you guys now that I haven't, had a full day of drinking and having fun. I don't even know if we want to do a whole one. We're just going to sip this and see what it's really like. And we'll give you our recommendations on it. Hey, I'll tell you what, this is for everybody that tuned in today. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support. Trop Rock Radio, our sponsor. Here's to you guys. What happened to the music that was playing in the background?
Might have caused because of my phone being on it for a little while. I'm not
okay.
really sure. I don't have it up here because we were having a little bit of technical issues.
Yep, as you guys know, this is only our second week doing this next week, and we're working out the glitches. There's no script. There's no nothing. We just put a few notes down as to what we want to talk about. We love interaction. Anybody want to chime in at any given time, we're here for you. Questions, email. If you email us this week, we'll answer them next week. As you guys saw, if you post your questions, we'll answer them right away, and we go off on tangents. Hopefully, we answered everybody's questions. And this is for all you guys out there. Thanks for the support, and thanks for watching. Let's see how this is, Matt. Wow, that is very smooth.
Yeah,
That is very smooth. That is good.
definitely a whole lot better than that other stuff.
That stuff we had a couple weeks ago back there was like drinking gasoline. It's still back there. And I think Jeff from Florida said he was going to get it, and when he saw our video, changed his mind. So that's actually pretty good. That's really smooth. So these guys, they are not a sponsor. We are not advertising for them. But what we like to do is I like to try different rums. We're even going to touch on whiskeys here and there. But if you're a rum drinker, very smooth. I like that. Not bad. I recommend getting a bottle and trying it. All right. So I think we touched on everything. I think it's time to go. We've been on for a while.
The last 2 comments are from Patty.
Uh-oh.
Actually, 3 comments. She said, "Your sexy dance ain't so sexy." But she is willing to accept your apology if you take the table out of the living room. And
She's been asking me for 3 years. All right, real quick story on and then we'll go back. Real quick story on the living room. 3 Super Bowls ago, I made a 3x5 Philadelphia Eagles bar table, and we have our Super Bowl party every year. We have a ton of people to come over, and we usually have not a futon. What are those stupid things called with the cushions that you put your feet up on?
I'll think of it.
Whatever. An ottoman. So instead of the ottoman, because we have a lot of people in the living room, I wanted a hard table. So I took the table, I took the bar table legs off, and I quickly made it ottoman height. So when you're sitting at the couch, you have a solid table. And all I did is I took a couple clean 2x4s, made some legs, made it so it wouldn't wobble, braced it up. It took me literally 5 minutes. It's been sitting there ever since, and I promised her it was only for that Super Bowl. It's still there. So, so recently we bought new furniture for the living room, so the table had to go, and it's now sitting in the upstairs living room. And that Patty wants me to get rid of it. We want to put it out here. It's an interior pour-on finish I did on it, so I don't want to leave it out in the weather. And there's not much more room under this tiki hut, so what I'm thinking is as soon as I'm done this tiki hut out here at the creek, we'll put it up in there. So Patty, yes, I will move that for you. It'll be there one day, I promise.
And then finally, she ends it with a low blow, saying, "Glad you build tiki bars because your jokes suck."
Wow, Patty Faye.
That is, we are deeply saddened now.
No, you know what? I don't expect, living with me, I do not expect anything less from the beautiful Patty Faye. I'm just thankful we've been together for 6 years.
She's got some bite to her.
She does.
Yeah.
And it's a shame she wouldn't come out. I tried to get her to come out. Krista, if you're watching, I know you wanted to see her. Carol, you wrote in earlier this morning before we went on. I know you wanted to see her.
We have requests.
Yes.
Wow.
To see Patty, not us.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody wants to see Patty.
She's more popular than we are.
Yeah. Well, good. I think I already mentioned our guest for next week. Yeah, John McGarvey from Barefoot Bobby and the Breakers. We're still working on it. I talked to him yesterday. Apparently John has a full-time job. He's not a full-time musician, so he's going to try and get over here, and maybe we can get a schedule for them. For all you guys that are local, we'll try and see where those guys are playing. John also does steel drums, so we'll get him to talk about that a little bit. And our first guest is a no-show. So, John, if you're watching, hopefully you can show up next week.
Yeah, don't be a Patty Faye.
Yes, don't be a Patty Faye. Patty Faye, come on out. Okay. All right, so I guess it's time to end the show. All right, do we have any ending music or anything?
I can take a look.
We can see. You know what? For next week, we're going to do an even better job. We're going to, I don't know what, Matt's the IT guy here. I know nothing about this crap. I just come up with the ideas, and Matt takes it from there. I build the tiki bars, as you guys know. I do all that stuff. So there we go. Compliments, Skip False. Skip, buddy, we love you. Haven't talked to you in a while. Hopefully I'll talk to you soon. And this was a lot of fun. Glad all you guys can join us. Matt, come on over. For Matt Purple, the Lost Island Tiki Bar, Tiki Kev's Tiki Bars, the missing Miss Patty Faye, Tiki Kev out. Cheers.